Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Radha Shama Sundar, Radha Shama Sundar, Shri Radhe. Jaya Gora Nitai, Jaya Gora Nitai, Gora Nitai, Jaya Gora Nitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. जय युग धर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So we are starting chapter 73. Lord Kṛṣṇa blesses the liberated kings. Text number 1 to 6. It's humbling. Shri Shuka Uvacha Ayute dve sataniyasto niruddha yuddhi nirjita te nirgata girdrarodayam malina malavashasaha shukshama sushkavadanaha samrodha parikarshita tadrashuste ghinasyamam pita kausheya vasasam srivatsankam chaturbahum padma garbharunekshanam चारु प्रसन्न वदनम स्फुरन्मकरकुण्डलं पद्महस्तं गदाशङ्ख रथाङ्गेरुपलक्षितं किरीटहारकथक कटिसूत्राङ्गदाञ्चितं भ्राजद्वरमणिग्रीवं दिवितं मनमालया पिबन्त इव चक्षुर्भ्यां इहन्त इव जीवया Jigranta iva nasabhyam Rabanta iva babhuhi Prane murhata papamano Urdadvi padayor hare. So I will chant only once because there are 6 verses. Somebody can chant. थोड़ा पीछे इसको थोड़ा पीछे करना पड़ेगा. Okay, I will come on this side. Mataji. So I will skip word by word. There is one page. So we will skip the word by word meaning with approval of Dharmatma Prabhu, and we'll go to, because it's one page for 6 verses. So I will read the translation. Sukadeva Goswami said, Jarāsandha had defeated 20,800 kings in combat and thrown them into prison. As these kings emerged from Giridroni fortress, they appeared dirty and shabbily dressed. They were emaciated by hunger, their faces were dried up, and they were greatly weakened by their long imprisonment. The kings then beheld the Lord before them. His complexion was dark blue, like the color of a cloud, and he wore a yellow silk garment. He was distinguished by the Srivatsa mark on his chest. His 4 mighty arms, the pinkish hue of his eyes, which resembled the whirl of a lotus, his lovely, cheerful face, his gleaming makara earrings, and the lotus club, conch shell, and disc in his hands, a helmet, a jewel necklace, a golden belt, and golden bracelets and armlets decorated his form, and on his neck he wore both the brilliant precious kaustuba jam and a garland of forest flowers. The kings seemed to drink his beauty with their eyes, lick him with their tongues, relish his fragrance with their nostrils, and embrace him with their arms. Their past sins now eradicated, the kings all bow down to Lord Hari, placing their heads at his feet. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Vancha-kalpatarubhyascha Kripa-sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we will read the chapter summary also. Yeah. This chapter relates how Lord Sri Krishna, after freeing the kings imprisoned by Jarāsandha, mercifully gave them his audience and bestowed royal gifts upon them. When Lord Kṛṣṇa freed the 20,800 kings Jarāsandha had imprisoned, they immediately fell to the ground to pay him obeisances. This is a general pastime. Every devotee, whenever they get darshan, they just fell down to the Lord. All the pastimes we see like this. As soon as they get darshan, they pay obeisances. And we do the same here when we get darshan of Krishna Balaram. Gaura-Nitai, we pay obeisances also. Then they stood with joined palms and began to pray to him. Seeing their imprisonment as an act of mercy by the Lord to smash their false pride, the kings prayed only to be granted whatever would facilitate their perpetual remembrance of his lotus feet. The Lord assured the kings that their prayer would be fulfilled. He instructed them, worship me by performing Vedic sacrifices and protect your subjects in accordance with the principles of religion. Fixing your minds on me, beget progeny and remain always equipoised in happiness and distress. Thus at the end of your lives, you will surely attain me. Lord Kṛṣṇa then saw to it that the kings were properly bathed and dressed, and he had Sahadev offer them flower garlands, sandalwood pulp, fine clothing, and other things suitable for kings. After having them adorned with jewels and golden ornaments, he seated them on chariots and sent them off kingdoms. In accordance with the orders the Lord had given them, they began to carry out their various duties once again. Lord Kṛṣṇa, Bhishma and Arjuna then departed for Indraprastha, where they met with King Yudhishthir and related to him everything that had happened. So, 10th canto, as we understand, is the smiling face of the Lord. And these pastimes, the focal attention is certainly to help us to think of Krishna all the time. So this pastime is also bringing the attention very clearly on meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord by these kings who were just blessed by Krishna. As we heard yesterday from Panchagoda Prabhu, they were released. So the most important instruction for us here is that how to follow in the footsteps of these kings, that in whatever situation Krishna keeps us, and in generally it's a struggling situation. Even if we become an HOD or whatever we become, it's always struggling. We think that once I get a post, I will be in a comfortable position, but then only you realize later that what has happened now. Till the time, the grass looks greener on the other side of the fence. So it's easy to see somebody being a temple president for long years, but to be doing that service, once you get a small part of it, you will understand, oh my God, what has happened now? I can't chant my rounds nicely anymore. So these kings were special, as we hear that they were able to think of Krishna. Even Prabhupada writes in the Krishna book, I was reading this chapter from Krishna book also, that how the kings were immediately meditating and could think of lotus feet of Krishna. So it is not a chance. We hear from Prabhupada many places, he writes, nothing happens by chance. Everything goes as per the plan of Krishna. So, but then there are more details into it, that how our desires play a role in that, and then how Krishna sanctions it, and then how the material energy plays a role to execute that desires. So, but certainly we cannot blame Krishna for that. But then certainly, yes, he is a controller and he is the maintainer, he is a well-wishing friend. That cannot be rejected also. So it's a point which is to be realized. This morning we were doing parikrama and we spoke that how Vyasadeva was instructed by Narada Muni in one of the verse in first canto that whenever you remove your vision from Krishna, the mind gets agitated. In other words, the reason for the agitation of the mind is that we are not thinking about Krishna for this moment. And again, Prabhu said that it is a subject of realization. We have heard it many times that we should always be meditating on Krishna, not anything. What is the purpose of life, right? To please Krishna, to please spiritual master. But it's not easy to be focusing on the simple instruction, because somehow mind is conditioned to be thinking about one's own benefit, which is like a child. So I was hearing in the class, Prabhupada says that this is a child civilization. And he explains that how child civilization means a child doesn't understand what is his interest. He just wants to play and do things which is generally not asked for by him. This is like even if he wear the shoes, he has to wear right shoe in the left leg and the left in the right. This is called a child. He will never do a mistake to wear it correctly. So similarly, we are being instructed again and again that Rishikesha, Rishikena Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate, we have to work our senses to serve the Lord. That's the purpose of these senses, that's the purpose of this body, to satisfy Krishna. But like a child who doesn't understand how to act, how to behave, same action Prabhupada designate childish civilization, that despite of repeated instruction by the Shastra, by the Acharyas, that if you want to be happy, try to please Krishna. If you want to be happy, follow the instructions of spiritual master. But then coming back to that childish behavior we have, we again think that no, let me enjoy independent of Krishna and that will give me happiness. But that never happens. And punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam is going on. Many, many lifetimes, we have got many, many births. But we never get the happiness we are looking for. So, this example of these kings is very important, that such a situation they were in, how this verse describes they were in hunger, their bodies were looking really weak, dresses were all torn, and they were all locked in a kind of an enclosure, nothing to eat there, no good air, nothing, not a livable condition. But the best part was they were thinking of Krishna. That was the best part. So, nothing external has relevance. When we understand this principle of soul, that we are not this body, we are a spirit soul, then we have to practice this principle. Like in Vrindavan, devotees are waking up early in the morning, taking bath in extreme cold, with not enough facilities in the village of heating the rooms and coming. That's an example of acting on the platform of soul. Coming every day morning, 3 o'clock, chanting your japa, even though the crowd is pushing from all sides, still trying to pay your obeisances, trying to concentrate on the lotus feet of Krishna Balaram, and most importantly, thinking of Krishna at that time. Not that trying to bring things which are not important for us, which are not important to be meditating on. So it's a continuous exercise to regulate the subtle body. So gross body is engaged now. Okay, physically I am here, sitting on the Vyasasana, trying to speak about Krishna. But where is the subtle body? Where is the mind right now? That challenge we are all always into. So Srila Prabhupada speaks in one of his class that what is the business of this Krishna conscious movement? Maybe if I can find that. What is the business of Krishna consciousness movement? Yeah. Krishna consciousness society, yeah. And Prabhupada replies, always thinking of Krishna. As Krishna says, Man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskaru. These four principles, always think of Krishna, become Krishna's devotee, worship Krishna, and offer a respect, obeisances to Krishna. That's all. This is Krishna consciousness. They are doing that. Nothing more, nothing less. These four principles. So this is from one of the class given on Bhagavad Gita 2.12. And Prabhupada says how important is to follow. And this is the only verse which is spoken twice in Bhagavad Gita, right? In 9th chapter, then again in the 18th chapter. So we read in Prabhupada books that Prabhupada keeps writing, perform devotional service in Krishna consciousness. Perform devotional service in Krishna consciousness. So what does it mean in Krishna consciousness? So here Prabhupada is defining in Krishna consciousness means, so okay, I am speaking now about Krishna, but I should be also thinking of Krishna. That is what is expected from us. Like Arjuna was also instructed, Ma manusmara yuddhacha, right? So think of me and fight. So this is what, it's a continuous practice we have to be doing, that whatever activities we are performing, our focus should be on pleasing Krishna. Otherwise it becomes Shram hi kevalam, like again this pastime of Vyasadeva and Narada Muni, where Vyasadeva is not happy after writing all these Shastras or the Vedas and the Puranas, and Narada brings his attention to the point that you forgot to glorify Krishna. So similarly, when I am also acting on some bodily platform or on mental activity, but if I am forgetting to bring Krishna in that discussion, if I am forgetting to understand the focal point that all I am doing is to glorify Krishna, okay, yes, this big project is coming up now, so but in the meetings, also if we can think of Krishna, like one of our manager was pushing for finishing the project little early, and we decided on 15 months, then he said, no, 14 months now, and then again after 14 months he was trying to push a little, and then Panchagauda Prabhu reminded this pastime of Srila Prabhupada pushing to print Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So it is so important that even while discussing such project which looks externally some activity mundane, but when in the meeting if you are thinking of Srila Prabhupada's pastime, that how Prabhupada was pushing to print Chaitanya Charitamrita in 2 months, all the 17 volumes, and how just by following the desire of Srila Prabhupada, devotees could achieve it. So it's important to bring Krishna in all our discussions we are doing. Otherwise, it is like Vyasadeva then. We are writing, but there is no Krishna. We are doing a nice deity worship, but then not thinking of Krishna. Okay, how people will glorify my ability to dress Krishna? That is not the purpose of dressing Krishna. How others will glorify the garland which I made is not the purpose of making the garland. So it's very important. This is a very subtle principle to be very, very, because now we are practicing for 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And Prabhupada also keeps telling that if you are not happy performing devotional service, it means you are not performing devotional service. Because devotional service is kevala ananda kanda. It's not possible that you cannot be happy. So like we met one devotee yesterday. He was a humble devotee admitting that I am trying to serve devotees, but whenever I serve devotee, I get disturbed. That is his realization. So it's a good realization though, because it happens that, okay, I am trying to serve, but then the point is I am trying to serve my way, not the way Prabhu wants it. So then I get disturbed, okay, I am doing this, but he's trying to stop me from here. I am trying to serve, but he's going to do it like this. So the point is, the mind is not accustomed to follow. That is the struggle we face when we do services. Like yesterday also we had this class and some devotees were questioning, and we said, okay, so you follow your spiritual master, you follow the Shastra. Don't follow your mind. But again the question comes that, but I want to do this, so what should I do? The answer is clear. Follow the spiritual master, follow the Shastra, don't try to listen to the mind. But it has become so obvious to us that when the mind speaks, we think that this is coming from Krishna. Immediately we relate that this is Krishna telling me. So it's very difficult to distinguish this point that whether this is coming from Krishna or this is coming from the mind. And 99.9% of the time I am convinced that it is coming from Krishna. But in reality, 99% of the time it is coming from the mind. So it is very important to have some authority to guide us. We cannot say that now I have understood the principles and I think I can understand everything and I have read the books, I have understood the books, so I can do it on my own. So this is one of the purport from 5th canto. Here Srila Rupa Goswami describes pure devotional service as anyabhilashita sunyam gnana karmadi anavritam. So one should not worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead to fulfill some material desire for success in fruitive activities or mental speculation. So we have heard this. To serve the lotus feet of the Lord means to serve Him exactly as He desires. The neophyte devotee is therefore ordered to worship the Lord strictly according to the regulative principles given by the spiritual master and the Shastra. So this is the guiding principle. So to follow the spiritual master and the Shastra. And by executing devotional service in that way, he gradually becomes attached to Krishna. So this is the benefit we get. Because by following the instructions of the authority, we are serving the authority, and because authority is serving Krishna, we get the benefit of getting attraction toward Krishna. Initially we don't understand this. When we are serving a devotee, we might not realize it immediately, but the end result is that a natural attraction for Krishna increases when you follow the instructions of a pure devotee. So like this program, Srila Prabhupada's program of morning program, Mangalartik, chanting japa, then darshanarti, Guru Puja, Bhagavatam class. This is given by an acharya. And acharya understands how to control the mind. Because this is what Krishna wants. That we invest our mind at Krishna's lotus feet. That is the instruction of the Shastra. This is the end result we want to achieve, that we can invest our mind in Krishna's lotus feet. So an acharya can understand how it is possible. We cannot understand it. I always give this example of painting. A devotee, a boy joined to learn karate in some karate school, and the master engaged him in painting the walls. And he did the whole beautiful painting, the whole hall, and then he came to the Guru again. So now what? Next. Okay, do it again. So then he started doing it again, and he finished the whole room again. And then he went to the teacher. So now what next? Do it again. So then again started doing it. And after third time, he gave it up. He said, no, this is not a good teacher. So he went to the teacher and said, no, I am really disgusted. What kind of a training you are giving? And then the Guru attacks him, the karate teacher, I mean. And as soon as he started attacking him, he gave protection. And then he could understand that all these parts are very hard now. He can take those attacks very easily. So this is how a Guru can see what is coming next. Like for example, the jam we have here on these roads. If you enter the jam, you cannot see what is after 100 meters. or maybe after 200 meters. You might think, let me take left from here and then I will be safe. But if somebody is up there on the airplane and have a good, good vision of the whole city, he can let you know, okay, don't go straight, now go back. There is a nice lane there and you can exit fast. So that is this guru and spiritual master. That is the Shastra we are talking about, that they know it. The experienced devotee, they know it. We have to dedicate our mind to their instructions. Otherwise, with our so-called little intelligence which we claim we have, we will be always bewildered and confused and disturbed. Like this person who was painting was getting disturbed. Only in third time he was disturbed. Just imagine. So we get disturbed even sometimes the first instruction, right? No, I know it. You don't have to tell me now. I'm 30 years doing this now. Who are you to tell me now? So it's very difficult to follow and to hear what devotees are telling. So I was coming to the point when this devotee shared that when I'm serving devotees, I'm getting disturbed. So the root cause is because we are still listening to our mind. So I simply suggested him that all I have heard is from the Shastra and from the authorities that we should follow the full morning program and try to read and hear Srila Prabhupada books and lectures, and that helps us to understand the mood Srila Prabhupada wants all ISKCON devotees should have. Otherwise we develop our own mood then. We don't develop the mood of the founder Acharya. But what is required is we should develop the mood of the Acharya, founder Acharya. He has established his organization. It is not that I have established or you have established. It is Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON. So it has to be run the way Srila Prabhupada wants. So we have to follow the instructions of the Acharya. That is very, very important. Otherwise, it is very easy with the kind of association we have in this world to follow what people are. Even he went to the extent of saying, Prabhupada's lectures are too old-fashioned now. They are not contemporary. It's not relatable to the society now. So this is how Maya attacks. It's not that the devotee doesn't understand it, but when we take this process little loose, we are not strict in following the principles, then this is how the next step comes, that we start blaspheming or losing faith in the Acharya. So it's a very serious risk a devotee takes when he is not following the basic principles given by the Acharya. So Vyasadeva, though he was a God himself, but he went to the Guru, Narada Muni, and Narada instructed him, okay, now glorify Krishna. And he followed the instruction. So Bhagavatam is just exemplifying how devotees have lived this principle in their life, irrespective of their positions. We are too much attached to our positions. Irrespective of the position, we have to follow the instructions of the Shastra and Guru. Sometimes we get carried away by the positions, that I have this position now, so what I decide is right, but it's not like that. The position is just to preach the principles. There is no other responsibility assigned to position holders. They are just assigned a service to practice and preach and demonstrate the principles given by the Shastra. That comes to the interest of the community. So it's very important how these kings, showing as an example that immediately when they started meditating on Krishna's form, Krishna's beautiful form, his bluish, how he's wearing a forest flower garland, how he has beautiful earrings, the kaustuba on his chest, and everything beautifully described, and they were feeling happy already. So this is how Krishna consciousness works. The more we think of Krishna, the more happy we become. So we have to practice this. Abhyasenastu kant. We have to practice this. We cannot take it lightly. So, few months back also we had a class and Shankardhari Prabhu was giving, and then the point was that how to bring this mind to Krishna. That was the question, and Srila Prabhupada writes in one of the purport of chapter 6 in Bhagavad Gita, 35 number, that two things he instruct to regulate the mind. And the first was to read books, to read the scriptures, and the second is to eat Krishna Prasad. So very simple. It's not difficult, right? Just to do these two things. reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and eating Krishna Prasad. And Prabhupada said, you can control your mind. Wonderful formula, no? But the depth of the instruction is that then these are the main thing of our day. Not that this is a side activity, okay, I eat and then rest of the time I do whatever I do. This thinking part is finished at 9 o'clock. Not like that. This is a preparation for that practice where I can think for the rest of the day, whatever I have heard, I have to practice that. So, even in one of the class, one Indian asked Srila Prabhupada, we see sometimes the dacoits, they pray to God before they are going to steal. So, Prabhupada got angry. He said, do you think we are dacoits? Then he said, no, not you. But we have heard that dacoits, they have this system that they go pray to the God before they are going to steal. And then he said, Prabhupada was really angry. He said, he is better than you. You are a rascal. You don't think of Krishna any moment. At least he is praying to the God before whatever activity he is doing. So the point is, Prabhupada was so clear on this point that whatever activity a person is engaged, the important part is what is he thinking of. So then, but in the end he concludes that does not mean that we are supporting the dacoit business. Prabhupada is clarifying that. So we should not hear it that, okay, now we can do whatever we want and think of Krishna. It's not like that. But he was bent strong on this point that a person who is thinking of Krishna, even though, and he quotes this verse, he said, you have to quote the Shastra. Then he quotes, Prabhupada quotes, api chetu suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhag. He says, even if a person by mistake do some wrong thing, but if he's devotee of Krishna, is better than you. This is how Prabhupada ends that answer to this person. And I also got one more class on that, which speaks about the same point. Yagna means Vishnu or Krishna. Whatever you do, you have to do only for Krishna. Yagnartha karma. Whatever you act, never mind. Whatever you do, but you have to act for Krishna. Otherwise, karma bandhana. You will be bound up by the reaction. Same example. Just a person acting on behalf of some superior authority, government, personally he has no responsibility because he is acting on behalf of the supreme authority. Just like a manager or agent, just like we have signed one lease agreement, that Mr. Brown is acting as attorney on behalf of the landlord. So he has no responsibility. He is acting in landlord capacity or landlord consciousness. He is trying to save the interest of the landlord as far as possible. But if there is any mistake, the landlord will suffer or gain. He has nothing to do. Similarly, if you work in Krishna consciousness, if there is something wrong, because we can act two ways, wrongly or rightly. This is how we keep analyzing. Okay, this is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong. That's all. If we do rightly, it is all right. Even if you don't do it rightly, wrongly, still it is right because the cause is supreme. Yagnartha karmonyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. So in our service is also, we are trying our best to render something doesn't goes our way. It's not very important for Krishna. Krishna is very attentive to what we are attentive on. So if we are attentive on Krishna, then even if some small flower has been not put properly in the garland, Krishna will accept that because it has been coming with full attention, with full absorption. Somebody has made that garland with love for Krishna. So this is what Krishna is looking for. So right or wrong, there is a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita, I don't remember. Ei bhalo, ei manda. Ei sab bhram. So right and wrong is just an illusion we have in our mind. The real thing is that what am I thinking about? Because we are not opening a society where we are trying to prove that 2 plus 2 is 4 in every single thing. We are trying to prove that Krishna is the cause of all causes. That is the purpose of our society. That Krishna is the cause of all causes. Otherwise, the main purpose is lost. If we try to be perfectionists just on moral principles or on societal principles, then we are missing the main point, Krishna. So here, same point Krishna is telling that rightly or wrongly, that's all right because the cause is supreme. Yagnartha karmanatra lokoyam karma bandhana. So the best, safest way of acting is to act in Krishna consciousness or under the order of Krishna. So if somebody says, where is Krishna? No, Krishna is there. Just like Bhagavad Gita and the explanation of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna being absolute, his representative, his words are non-different from him. So coming to this point of to bring the mind on Krishna, we have to read the scriptures. So this is what it is. It is the holy name is non-different from Krishna. Bhagavad Gita is non-different from Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna. So when we read and hear more about this, our mind becomes gradually purified and we come to a stage where we can automatically think of Krishna doing any activity we are performing. It's a process suggested by the Acharyas, so we have to follow this. We should not think that Krishna is not in my presence. As soon as Bhagavad Gita is there, and as soon as we understand Bhagavad Gita as it is, that means we are hearing directly Krishna. So if we do according to the instructions of Krishna, as Arjuna did, then there is no reaction. We are free. Yagnartha karmano anyatra. So this is a very important principle that we try to practice more hearing and chanting, and that will result to the situation where it will become natural for us to be thinking of Krishna. Another conversation between Swarup Damodar and Srila Prabhupada. This was in July 14, 1975, Philadelphia. Swarup Damodar asked, actually the trees are absolutely necessary for survival of animals. Prabhupada, that is another thing. We say nothing is necessary. Simply Krishna is necessary. That is a material conception. This is necessary, this is necessary, this is necessary. But Krishna says, nothing is necessary. Sarva dharman parityaja. You are simply planning and becoming entangled with so-called necessity. Swarup Damodar. But that is on the spiritual platform. Prabhupada. You can create spiritual platform immediately. Sagunan samati tetan. If you fully engage yourself in devotional service, immediately you are above this material conception. So we create so-called necessity. This is to be like that, this is to be done like that. But most important thing is we help each other how we can bring Krishna in the center of all the activities we are performing. That is where we need this association of devotees because they remind us of Krishna every time. That is the advantage of devotee association, not that I become a good manager. So this is from Hawaii. This talks about MA PhD degrees because we are in a way drifting too much towards this so-called material qualifications. So here Prabhupada's, this is a class, yes. Krishna advises man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam man mana. If you think of Krishna always, then naturally you become devotee of Krishna. Man mana bhav mad bhakto and madhyaji. And if you actually become devotee of Krishna, then you shall worship Krishna. And if you actually worship Krishna, then you must offer obeisances to Krishna. Therefore, Krishna advises four things. Man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Then what will be the result? Mame veshyasi. Simply by practicing these four things, it does not require any MA, PhD degree. Simply you have to agree, yes, I shall think of Krishna, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You have to agree, that's all. That is required. Then gradually you become a bhakta. Gradually you worship and gradually you offer complete surrender. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you. Any comments?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the principle of the essence of everything is a lesson I taught my grandsons. Two rules. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. And also, Rake Krishna, Mare Krishna, Rake Ke. Krishna protects you all the time. No one can hurt you. And if Krishna wants to kill you, no one can protect you.
Thank you. So this is kind of a summary of the whole class.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, the question is, you in the initial you said that one is you desire, and then Krishna sanctions, and then third thing you said the material energy. So my question is, are we in that stage where Krishna intervenes in each and every activity? Because as I understand, maybe Krishna sanctions when we reach certain stage. I mean, this is my understanding. Maybe is it because it's complicated? It's a karma. It's because of the karma things are happening, or is it because Krishna doesn't sanction? That's why things doesn't happen. So how do you understand that?
Yes, so as I understand, in the Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. So certainly Krishna is the sanctioning of every activity that is happening, no doubt about it. And even Prabhupada explains in one of the purport that sometimes when we are trying to do an action which is not right, rather we are ourselves debating that it's a wrong thing, but so Krishna says as a Paramatma, don't do this. And then we again get into it, no, let me do it, I want to do this, And Krishna says, no, don't do it, this is not going to help you. But then when we do it third time, then Krishna releases. Then he doesn't, because he has given that free will to us. So certainly we desire and Krishna guides as Paramatma, but then when we are determined to do something, as you were explaining, that not that everything is by him, but yes, everything is by him, because without his sanction not a blade of grass moves. This we speak and we hear often from many purports. Also Prabhupada says nothing moves without sanction of the Lord, not even a blade of grass. So, but it is happening so automatic, like this hand is moving. I can say that I am moving this hand, but actually this is also sanctioned by Krishna. There is a demigod assigned for this. I am seeing that a demigod assigned for my vision. For every single thing, a personality is assigned by Krishna, who is working under the direction of Krishna. So this is how Bhagavatam reveals how Krishna is helping us to come closer to him. So the end conclusion understanding is that whatever we are going through, ultimately we are on the road towards Krishna, and Krishna is right there. Nobody is on a deviation road, because it is all going as per Krishna's plan, but Krishna has unlimited patience and tolerance capacity. So even if like a child pees on the mother doesn't throw him out now. It doesn't do like that, right? She tolerates. So like a loving father, Krishna is just accepting whatever nonsense we are doing. So we think that is Krishna sanctioning this? But the reality is yes, everything is sanctioned by Krishna. But yes, depending on our desire. So Prabhupada says if we desire to go back home, back to Godhead, Krishna gives special attention to such devotee, because that is in line with Krishna's plan. This is what Krishna wants. Krishna wants the son to come back now. He's suffering, rotting in this prison house. Krishna is not happy seeing the son like that. So his desire is that we all come. That's the purpose of creation of this material world. But because when we have this rebellious nature to be enjoying independent of Krishna, we keep doing that. But certainly these desires are sanctioned by Krishna, no doubt about it.
So there is no role of karma anywhere.
Karma is that desire is karma. You are generating. This body itself is the result of karma. Because of my karma, I got this body already. This is already given. I am already going through it. So now again I have a free will to use this facility to serve Krishna or to generate more karma. So that free will, this is what we read. Yagnartha karmono nyatra. So if you perform your actions for pleasing Krishna, so no generation of karma. So you have a facility now to attend class, to attend the program, or maybe you can go somewhere else. So it's a free will given to you. Where is Krishna intervening in? But he's facilitating your desire. If you want to come, if you want to be here every day, Krishna will certainly facilitate that desire. And anything else you want to add? Okay, thank you.
Good answer.
Hare Krishna. It's not.
It's on.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, first of all, wonderful words. Means every single word of yours was fulfilled with everything. Nothing.
All Srila Prabhupada words.
Nah, nothing else to necessary.
That was the power of the words of Prabhupada.
Nothing you have left. So fix your mind on Krishna. This is what I understood. Prabhuji, the thing which I am not understanding is devotional service. Means seva. Isn't it if I am saying I am doing something for someone else, isn't it my ego it's a big ego. I do think that, and scriptures are fulfilled with that. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, if we see Ramayana as well, Sur Nar Muni sab ki hariti, or Swarath lagi karahi sab priti. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is very clear on it. No one can do anything for anyone, even for a second. Yeah. So, Prabhuji, this service nishkamta, I am not understanding it, Prabhuji.
So
yeah.
That is why you have to follow the process to understand this. Prahlad Maharaj defines devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pad Sevanam.
This is devotion.
Devotional service.
Devotion, Prabhuji. Means I do translate, I do understand bhakti as devotion and love. Service means it's quite, I'm not understanding it.
This is devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam is not devotion, it is devotional service. Prabhupada said, devotion is incomplete without service. Service is signifying love for the personality. So if I am hearing about Krishna, that shows that I am interested in Krishna, I am interested in reviving my relationship with Krishna. So this process of hearing and chanting is to revive that relationship with Krishna. Like when a boy gets attracted to a girl, and when they start knowing more about each other, the love increases because they know now more qualities about, or the love might decrease also if they know about the qualities. So this is material world. But in Krishna consciousness, the love only increases. The more you know about Krishna, so it's a devotional service. This is a misunderstood principle that hearing about Krishna is not devotional service. This is the most attractive service for Krishna. And this does not arise any false ego. We will not think that we are doing something big for anybody. This is very much as per the instructions of the acharyas. But as you said, that whatever is your realizations, so our understanding is that we have to perform devotional service under the direction of a devotee of the Lord. Then we will get realization. This is not that with I have a capacity to get anything. The devotion is blessed by devotees and Krishna. We cannot achieve devotion. The love cannot be achieved. It is given by one who has it. So if we connect to somebody who has it, then so we are connecting to Srila Prabhupada and his followers and the devotees, those are connected to the process and trying to assist, taking the role of an assisting that whatever people are accomplishing, because you don't want to have that desire that I am doing something for some. That's a very nice mood. We should not have that mood that I am doing something great. So, servant of the servant 100 times, that down servant we should try to become. So we will never have that desire that we are doing anything. We will like a small ant, whom nobody knows. Like somebody washing pots in the devotee kitchen, who knows them? Nobody knows, but they are really doing service for the Lord. So take some service like that, which is not very, very visible, but certainly Krishna is looking at it, and try to do it with utmost love and attention for Krishna. That is very helpful. Like we heard one sculpture was making some painting, kind of, not painting, but a murti, and it was somewhere up there in the temple. And then he thought it is not done properly, the face. So he brought it down and tried to do another murti. So one person said, Baba, it is at such a height, who will see it there? Even if this is not done perfectly, who is going to? No, Krishna will see it. So it's how much conscious we are about Krishna when we are rendering service. That is more important than how much externally we are conscious that my service is big or small, or how others are thinking about me. That makes you feel like this, that who am I to do something? When you think that you are doing something, but when you understand that all this energy is coming from Krishna and we are just an instrument in his hand, as Arjuna was instructed, Nimittam matram bhavasaiva sachi. So once you act as an instrument in the hand of Krishna, then there is no point of understanding that you are doing anything. It's just used by Guru and Krishna for accomplishing their task, what they are trying to achieve. Yes, Prabhu.
Like Lord Chaitanya said, nadanang najanang nasundaring kavitang bhajagadisha kamaye mama janmani jamnishvare bhagavat bhakti rahaitu kitvahi. I don't want wealth, I don't want followers, I don't want women. I just want to surrender at your lotus feet and do service. And then yad karoshi, yad dashanasi, yad johosi, yad. Whatever you do, whatever you pray, whatever service you perform, do it as a sacrifice to me. And that's your devotional service, hearing, chanting, serving without ulterior motives.
Jai. Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Thank you very much.